how are people going to behave? And it's the loss aversion story around. There is the great Australian dream in this country, but there is anecdote after anecdote where people do whatever it takes to batten down the hatches in all other areas in order to make their payments for their house. It is a cultural thing in Australia. So there are examples around the world where that hasn't been the underpinning story, but in Australia, it is a cultural loss aversion story where people will do whatever it takes to fight to keep their asset, which includes looking at all plan B, plan C, plan D, and considering all options. The Castle is one of the most iconic movies in this country. I mean, we'll do whatever it takes to protect our castle.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm a huge fan of behavioural economics and how people operate. So we dig in. It's called a loss aversion thing because you will find ways to make it work. And in this particular case, if we had said, all right, well, I can't find a job, I can't find a tenant, I've exhausted all my other opportunities here, I've got to let it go. Well, that's just simply not the case in the current economy. Well, I can pick up a second job, I can work weekends, I can do anything else to make sure that I keep that particular property. So definitely that loss aversion is going to be a big part of that story. There are other, sort of human behavior stories around on the buying side as well. The human behavior of bargains and wanting to be able to find that. So whilst others see pain and misery, the astute investor and the behavior of those people will take advantage of that. There's always positives out of these sort of events. So they'll be waiting on the sidelines or taking action, depending on, their current financial position. So there is no doubt from the seller's point of view, loss aversion from the buyer's point of view, you're going to see those people looking for those assets. And the way in which you and I look at that, Bryce, is really simple, is to be able to secure a really, really healthy investment grade property without lots of competition is a lot easier than not. So we still expect to be under competition where we're buying, and we buy around 50 to 60 properties a month to give you some idea of the number of properties we buy. So that human behavior stuff, we'll talk more to that over the coming months, I suspect, as we explain to people why it's more of a softer cushioning than any sort of more severe than that.